Hi, I'm Michelle Streeter, the counselor at Meadowvale Elementary, and I'm here today to show you a short yoga video. I have two helpers with me today. I have Amanda Harple and I have Carrie Reardon, and they're going to help show some modifications that we do for some of the yoga poses. And let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we want to do before we start any kind of yoga practice is we want to find a comfortable seat. For some of us, that can be sitting on the floor, that could be sitting in a chair. You could even lie on your back if that is more comfortable for you. We're just going to settle in and do some nice slow breathing. It's nice when we start a yoga practice to settle on our mat and get ready for the actual practice to begin. You can do this with your students. I like to shut my lights down. I tell my students, keep your hands on your desk or put them in your lap, however's comfortable for you. And we always start with an inhale. And so I tell the students we're going to inhale slowly for about a count of 4. Then we're going to hold it at the top. And then we're going to exhale to about a count of 6. If we want to relieve stress through our breathing, the exhale has to be a little bit longer than our inhale. When we practice that, I always have the kids inhale, and while they hold it, I ask them to bring maybe a bad feeling or a negative emotion or something that happened that morning that was upsetting to them, and kind of pull it to the front of their brain. And then when we do the exhale, we're going to try to just get rid of that negative. We have to find ways to release the negative and go on with our day. Often the negative is not serving us any purpose. Begin by relaxing your shoulders. Let's make sure we don't have our tongues pushing on the roof of our mouth. That is a sign of stress. So we want everything relaxed. Our jaw should be soft. Our tongue should be down and relaxed, and our shoulders should not be crunched up to our ears. We're very relaxed. Eyes open or closed, whatever's comfortable with you. So let's just start with a nice inhale. Everybody go in, hold, and exhale. And do that one more time. Inhale, hold, exhale. Continue to do 3 or 4 more of those on your own. Now let's slowly begin to softly open our eyes and begin bringing awareness back onto our mats. If you're in a chair laying on your back, go ahead and take this time to make your way into a comfortable seated position. You will see on our video that we are starting in a crisscross seat to start our very first stretching exercise. Our very first stretching exercise that we're going to begin with in our yoga practice today is we're going to put our hands on our knees, and we are going to slowly lean to the right. We're going to kind of fold forward and move to the left and come right back up to the top. We're going to repeat that 3 times to the right. This is a really nice beginning hip opener to start your yoga practice. Hip openers are important for us to do because when we are faced with a fight or flight type of situation, all of our adrenaline rushes towards our hips to get us ready for flight because we're humans and we use our legs and feet as a method of flight. So we tend to hold a lot of tension there, so it's important to make sure we release that. Now we will move to a standing position for another hip opener. Please stand up. Now slowly raise your hands up to the sky, bring your prayer hand down to your chest, and then drop your hands to your side. Repeat one more time just to kind of get the blood flowing. Go ahead and bend your knees slightly, make them nice and loose. They don't have to have tension. Drop your right hand to your mat, right off of your right pinky toe. Put all your weight in your right foot and slowly begin to rise with your left. This is called half moon. You may keep your front leg bent like I'm doing. You can keep your left leg on the ground like Amanda is showing, or you can barely raise your leg up, which is what Carrie is doing. Go ahead and drop your left foot back down next to your right and slowly stand up. Now that we're back in mountain pose, rise your hands above your head one more time. Get settled on both feet. Go up on your tiptoes just slightly and slowly squat down, and we're going to actually end up in a seated position on our mats. Kind of shake your legs out in front of you just to kind of get the blood flowing back again. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our right leg and we're going to try to get our shin parallel with the front of our mat. Please make sure you keep your foot flexed. That will help protect our knees. And if anything is ever painful, back off immediately. You should feel stretching, but never pain. Now go ahead and rotate your left leg back around behind you. And you may stay up on your hands, which Amanda is going to demonstrate, or you can fold all the way forward down like myself and Carrie are doing. That is going to really get into your right hip and stretch it out. Now we're just going to go ahead and bring our left leg back around, and we're going to position it so that our left shin is now parallel with the front of our mat and our right leg is behind us. And we're just going to repeat what we did. Amanda is showing a different variation where you can lay on your back, cross your left leg over your right knee, and pull your right leg towards your body. It's going to do the same stretch. Now go ahead and just bring your feet around and shake them out one more time. And we're going to move back to a standing position. Go ahead and get nice and comfortable. Get your hands down by your side. We're back in mountain pose. Make sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed. We're going to raise our hands up and we're going to fold forward gently. We're going to put our fingertips down on the mat or on our shins, look forward, and then step back into a plank position. We're going to do a slight push-up. You go about halfway down, and then we're going to roll our shoulders open and look up to the sky. That is called up dog. Pull your hips using your abdomen muscles up to the sky and go into your down dog. Slowly walk your feet up to your hands in that folded position and rise back up, back to heart center. Okay, go ahead and step back with your left foot. Your toes should be on a slight angle. And we're going to make sure our shoulders are over our hips and rise your hands up to the sky. Make sure you're completely upright. You should feel a slight stretch actually in that left hip. And then we're going to bring our hands down behind our back, clasp your hands. We're actually going to roll our shoulders back, kind of like you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. And we're going to look up towards the sky a little bit. And then once we're in a nice comfortable position that way, we're going to slowly bend forward into our humble warrior. And that is going to stretch out the front of our chest and our shoulders. Come on back up. Bring your left foot up to match your right. Arms to the sky. Hands back to heart center and back to mountain pose. Now we're going to repeat that on the other side. If we do one side, we need to do the other. So go ahead and step back with that right foot. Make sure your shoulders are stacked over those hips again. Bring your arms up to the sky. Slowly push them down behind your back. Go ahead and clasp those hands again. Roll your shoulders, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and slowly bend forward into that humble warrior on the other side. And use your stomach muscles to pull yourself right back up and step that left leg up, arms to the sky, and back to heart center one more time. Arms up, and fold forward nice and gentle. Put your hands on your hips, rise up. Get centered on that right foot again and step the left foot back. We're now in a lunge position, so you're actually up on your toes this time instead of your foot. So we're actually in a runner's lunge, and we're gonna make sure our shoulders are again stacked over those hips, and we're gonna rise our hands up. And then we're gonna cactus our arms out to the side, kind of like we're flexing our biceps, and we're going to look up. Again, squeeze those shoulder blades together. This is a nice, easy heart opener. Put your hands on your hips and step your left leg back up to meet your right. Then we're going to repeat that on the other side. I've turned a little bit so you can see the front, how it looks like, looking from the front. Put your arms up. Again, cactus those arms. Look up to the sky. Get your chest nice, wide and open. And back up. Hands on hips, and step your legs up to meet each other at the front of your mat. So go ahead and drop down to your knees, and we're up on our toes as you can see in the video. Place your hands, I like to use my thumbs, but you can also use your fingers and turn your hands backwards and place those on the small of your back. We're actually gonna hinge back from our hips. We're not doing a back bend, we're hinging back. We're gonna feel a stretch in the front of our hips and the front of our chest. Heart openers are really important for counteracting sitting at our desks, on our computers, on our phones, where maybe the back of our shoulders are nice and stretched out, but the front is constricting. So we need to counterbalance that. All right, find your way back into that crisscross seated position, kind of like where we started. Sit up nice and tall, and we are going to now just do one more counter stretch. Since we were bending, kind of backwards, we're gonna go forward. So just crawl those hands out in front of you while sitting crisscross, and just give a nice counter stretch in our hips and our back, just to kind of close out our practice today. It's just a nice, calm, easy stretch to finish off our practice. Come back up to seat. Let's just close out our practice with a couple of more of those nice, slow, deep breaths, just to kind of bring everything back down to get ready to go start our day. I did participate in the Youth Yoga Certification course this summer at Lake Erie West. So if anybody has any questions or just want some ideas of things to do with their students, some ideas to do for adults, I am open and willing to help anyone and everyone that reaches out. I have noticed a big difference in a lot of my students that I do this with here at Meadowvale. They beg for more yoga. They absolutely love it. So I'm more than happy to help. Please reach out 8282 or send me an email. Thank you. Have a wonderful PD. Bye-bye.